Lumberville, Pennsylvania today, standing outside the historic Black Bass Hotel. Come on in, we'll give you a tour. We're standing in what is the oldest part of the Black Bass Hotel. In fact, this is the original tavern room. Behind me is the very door that, according to legend, or perhaps there's some historic truth, that General George Washington gave a bit of a knock on during that late summer of 1776. Here at the Black Bass is one of the locations that Washington was hoping that perhaps himself and some of his officers might take shelter. But as the story goes, Washington came here, the proprietor, who was loyal to the crown, did not allow access to Washington. In hindsight, that act may have helped the American cause, because Washington would have been at some risk had he decided to set up his headquarters here at the Black Bass. But instead, he turned his sights further south and planned his attack on the city of Trenton later that year from McConkey's Tavern in Pennsylvania. I'm now privileged to be standing behind one of my favorite bars in all of America. This section of the Black Bass was built in the 19th century. Earlier we were downstairs in the original old tavern. This is considered the new modern tavern, built sometime after a fire that occurred on the premises around 1830. What is so intriguing about this room, besides the tremendous collection of Anglophile memorabilia, everything from Queen Victoria China to things commemorating the life and times of Winston Churchill, there's a bit of a French touch in this room. There's a very unique pewter sleeve that I'm now touching. It's also part of the back bar here. As the story goes, there was a fire in France, in Paris, at Maxime's during the 1800s. And that someone who was attached to the Black Bass at the time went over to Paris to bid on bits and pieces that were salvaged from that fire. From that fire came this terrific piece of pewter and this sleeve and what you see behind me. While it doesn't seem like a lot, there's something extraordinary, and it's just part of the legacy of this property to be able to touch so many pieces of not just American history, but history from Europe and Great Britain.